sports world? This is another episode of Sports with Psycho Sam, and today we're just going to be going over the top 25 of the NCAA Week 7 and Week 6 of the NFL, and talk a little bit about the Broncos. Sorry, I haven't been making as much videos as I'm getting married November 2nd to my best friend and the love of my life. So that's why I haven't been making as much videos. But let's get right into it this week. We have Notre Dame against Pittsburgh. I got Notre Dame winning that. Number 5, Notre Dame, they went up one spot. Did a pretty good job last week. Minnesota versus number 3, Ohio State. I got Ohio State winning that one. You have Tennessee against number 21, Auburn. All right, I have Auburn taking that one. You have number 14, Florida versus Vanderbilt. I'm going with Florida in that game. Then you got Michigan State versus number 8, Penn State. I'm taking Penn State, but I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan State ended up winning that one. I think that's going to be a really good game right there. Number 22, Texas A&M. I have versus South Carolina. I got Texas A&M taking that one. Number 2, Georgia versus number 13, LSU. I picked LSU just because they're at home and it's an SEC matchup. I just think they're going to outplay Georgia, and Georgia's going to fall in that game. You have number 10, USC versus Memphis. I'm taking UCF. I'm taking UCF in that one. Baylor versus number 9, Texas. I'm taking Texas in that game. You have the number 7, Washington versus number 17, Oregon. I'm going to go ahead and go with the home team, Oregon. But that's going to be a really good game right there. Number 16, Miami versus Virginia. I'm taking Miami in that one. Missouri versus number 1, Alabama. I'm going to go ahead and stick with Alabama in that game. Number 6, West Virginia versus Iowa State. I'm going with West Virginia in that game. Number 15, Wisconsin versus number 12, Michigan. I think Wisconsin's going to beat Michigan in this game. Going to be a tough matchup, though. Number 19, Colorado versus USC. I'm going to go with Colorado in this game, but USC might take that one. Never know in these games with USC lately. So, number 23, South Florida versus Tulsa. I'm going with South Florida in that one. All right. So last week in my picks, I went 9 out of 15. Did a pretty good job. Let's hope I do another good job this week and get most of my picks right again. So we have tonight the Eagles versus the Giants. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Giants 23-20. I just don't think the Eagles are as good as they were last year. And I think the Giants are going to show up to play on this Thursday night. They did a good job against the Panthers, and I see them doing a good job again tonight against the Eagles. I have the Giants winning 23-20. Then you have the Rams versus the Broncos on Sunday. The way the Broncos have been playing, sad to say, but I think the Rams are going to win 31-17. My beloved Broncos have looked like shit. They are not playing well at all. Defense looks confused out there. The offense doesn't have their stuff together. Bad coaching calls, bad schemes, and I think we need to go ahead and hit that reset button and start over. So then we got the Bucs versus the Falcons. I got the Falcons winning this one 27-23. I think they'll bounce back this week and do a pretty good job. Then you have the Steelers versus the Bengals. I have the Steelers winning this one 34-14. I think the Steelers are going to get back on track to winning. They did a good job last week, so I think they're going to continue on, and it's a rivalry game, so that should be a good contest, but I think they're going to run away with it. Then you have the Chargers versus the Browns. I have the Browns winning this 27-24. I'm just going off of the Chargers not having a defense and the Browns somewhat having a defense. Hopefully Baker Mayfield shows up, and I would also like to see the Chargers lose just because they're an AFC West team, and that'll really help. Bills versus the Texans. I got the Texans winning this 30-20. Josh Allen still has got a lot to prove. I mean, he's not bad, but he still could use a lot of work. But that's going to happen in your rookie campaign. You're going to have ups and downs, and we'll see how it goes. Bears versus Dolphins. I have the Bears winning 17-13. I think their defense will get it done over the Dolphins. Cardinals versus the Vikings. I have the Vikes winning 34-17. Okay, so the Vikings did a very good job against the Eagles, and I see them doing that again this week against the easier team in the Cardinals. You have the Colts versus the Jets. I have the Colts winning this one 31-23. I think Andrew Luck is going to have a good game, and they should do good things against the Jets. Then you have the Seahawks versus the Raiders. I believe the Seahawks are going to win 30-24. I don't like either one of these teams, but I don't like the Raiders as much. They're an AFC West rival, so I really don't like them at all. So I hope the Seahawks win there. Panthers versus the Redskins. I got the Panthers winning 24-20. Panthers are really good on defense, and Cam Newton, that offense have gotten going. They can put up some points, so I like the Panthers in that one. Jags versus the Cowboys. I got the Jags bouncing back 23-17. I just think they'll have a bounce back game. The Cowboys don't have an explosive offense like the Chiefs do. And I have the Jags winning that. Ravens versus Titans. I have the Ravens winning this one, bouncing back from a loss against the Browns, 28-13. I don't think the Titans are as good as the Browns defense. The Titans defense isn't that great. And I'm not sure if Mariota is hurt or not still, but I don't see them doing too good on offense. Chiefs versus the Pats. I have the Pats winning 38-31 in a shootout. They are in New England. New England's at home. So I believe they're going to outshoot the Chiefs, and the Chiefs will suffer their first loss right here. The Patriots' defense looks to be a little bit better than what the Chiefs have on defense, so that's why I think they're going to win 38-31, because Tom Brady can definitely put up points. And so I think the Pats' defense will get a couple more stops than the Chiefs' defense, and that's why I have them winning 38-31. Then you have the 49ers versus the Packers. I have the Packers winning 30-24. I just think the Packers' offense is going to be better than the 49ers. I don't really see too much defense going on right here with these teams. But yeah, so those are my picks and scores for Week 6. And so I just want to talk about the Broncos, man. They got blown out at home, 34-16. Was it at home? Anyways, if it was at home or if it wasn't at home, I don't remember which one it was. But still, they got blown out, 34-16, against a team that they have no business losing to. The Jets are not that good, and Bradley Roby, man, he looked terrible. Was getting blown by like nothing. It was like he wasn't even on the field, okay? And then our linebackers and our defensive line did nothing to stop the running game. The pursuit was crap. Their angles were all wrong. They just looked, out of sorts, not in the right places. And I just don't like Joe Woods as a defensive coordinator, man. I think they need to hit the reset button. It all starts up front with head coach. And John Elway needs to do a better job, man. He's got to admit when he's wrong. You live and you learn, man. You got to let go of, the people that you hired. I mean, it happens. Sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're right. It looks like he was right when he went and got Peyton Manning and got some good defensive players and then went and won that Super Bowl 50 against the Panthers. Did a good job there, but right now we're not doing a good job. Vance Joseph needs to go, man. He just does. Their offense isn't coming together. Their defense isn't there. It's like you just need to hit that reset button. And like I was saying before the season even started, I thought we should trade our inside linebackers and go ahead and get some new corners. We're lacking there. And I was already talking about having Darian Stewart traded. He's just not the same player ever since he got his contract extension. He just hasn't played the same. He's not performing. So I just think it's time to move on from certain players. And then we need to go ahead and promote certain players. We're not getting any pressure when it comes to sacking the quarterback from the other defensive end spot besides Derek Wolfe. Derek Wolfe was the only man that showed up pretty much on that defensive line against the Jets. Got his first career interception, so good for Derek Wolfe. I mean, Derek Wolfe is a good run stopper. He plays the run very well. He pressures the quarterback. Needs to get more sacks, though, when he does pressure the quarterback. But we need somebody on the opposite side helping him to get pressures. I think they need to go ahead and activate DeMarcus Walker. See what this guy's got. Give him a fucking chance. If you're not giving him a chance, why'd you even draft him and bring him there? You tried him at outside linebacker. Didn't work. He put the weight back on to go back to his original position. I think this guy would be a stud if they would just give him a chance. I don't think Adam Gotsis has got this. He's just not the defensive end that we need. And we need to get more pressure inside. We need to get a guy like Aaron Donald or Ndamukong Suh, that's nasty in the middle. I mean, don't get me wrong, Domata Peko is good at run stop defense, but he doesn't really pressure the quarterback very often. We need a guy that can do both, stop the run and get pressure. We need help there. I've been saying that for years, ever since Malik Jackson left. Danny Trevathan left. I thought that's where our money should have went. I think Danny Trevathan was a better linebacker than Brandon Marshall. I've said that all along. Whenever I talk to anybody about the Broncos, I would have paid him first and Malik Jackson over Derek Wolfe. Malik Jackson had more pressure on the quarterback than Derek Wolfe, and he could stop the run as well. They made a couple mistakes by letting those guys go, but now it's time to rebuild those positions. And also, we're getting burned at the cornerback position. We need to go ahead and find some guys to fill in. Bradley Roby ain't doing it for us. He ain't cutting it. And the other guys are just hurt all the time, so we're just suffering. We need to go ahead and see what Isaac's got. Isaac Yiadom. He's a rookie, but we need to go ahead and see what he's doing. And we need to go ahead and trade Shane Ray, trade Darian Stewart, and just hit that reset button. And on the offensive side, still not seeing an offensive line like the first couple of weeks. They've been pretty horrible lately. They need to find, their niche and work together. It doesn't seem like they're working together anymore. It seems like it's just one-on-one. They're not reading the blitz or picking up a guy when they do different schemes, twisting on the line and doing different things like that when they do the pass rush. And then Case Keenum, definitely not worth the money. I think we should try and trade him and see what we can get out of it, and see what Chad Kelly's got before we go with another quarterback. But definitely need a new quarterback, and it might be time to let go some of the older guys at wide receiver. I don't really like saying that because I still like Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, but they're getting up there in age, so we don't know how much longer they got, and might as well get something out of them before we can't. And also, we need to give the rookies another, more opportunities to get in the game. Cortland Sutton and Deshaun Hamilton, I think, are going to be really good wide receivers. Cortland Sutton's a big dude, man, and he can go up and get it if you just put it in his vicinity. He skied up there to try to get that overthrow by Case Keenum, but couldn't quite bring it down because it was just too high of a throw. I mean, if you would have thrown that lower, he probably could have brought that in and scored that touchdown on that overthrow. But yeah, we're just lacking all around. I'm very disappointed right now and how the season's going. But hopefully, man, they get their stuff together, their act together. But I don't believe that they will this year. Hopefully next year they get things changed, and I think we need to go ahead and get a whole new coaching staff in there and just hit that reset button and get everything started. But if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. And then if you have any comments, let me know. All right.